Thank you very much. Now you said I was a professional engineer. I've been trained as a professional engineer. I've never worked for 1 second as a professional engineer. So, but I'm a member of our association, and what I'd like to start with is from an engineer point of view, to find out what is the problem with do we have a problem with the number of engineers we have in Europe? So I have some numbers here. Now, is there a lack of engineers? And we have a replacement for the next 10 years. For the next 10 years, and there will be different numbers here. Here's a set of numbers on STEM jobs. So this is more than engineering. This is the STEM. And there will be a replacement demand of 6.8 million, which is divided into 1.8 million engineers over the next 10 years will retire, and there will be a creation, that's a forecast, of 5 million new jobs. Okay, that's over the next 10 years. So we need to generate these, produce 6.8 million engineers over the next 10 years. And this is something, of course, that being a professional engineer, this is something that will be done at universities and engineering schools. Now we also have another set of numbers. This is jobs within the physical, math, and the engineering professionals. And here we have slightly different numbers. Here there's a complete and overall demand for replacement of 4.3 million, and that is 0.8 new jobs, and, well, I should check my numbers, maybe it's around 3.5, thank you. Vice versa. So 3.5 new jobs, and this is a replacement. So you can see, depending on where you look, you get different numbers. And if we're trying to find out, is there a problem here? Do we have a lack of engineers? Well, the conclusion from this set of numbers is that we don't. Because all of us together in Europe, we train, educate, and graduate 500,000 engineers every year. So 10 years times half, that's approximately 5, and we are in the vicinity of the number 5 here. So we don't have a problem. Thank God for that. But this is overall in Europe, and Europe is a big place. And to jump to conclusions, maybe it is so that all the engineers are trained in France and employed in Germany. Because we do have regional differences. In Scandinavia, we will have a shortcoming of engineers in Holland, in Germany, and the UK. So these are the numbers, and this is maybe we are in a business where we have to produce engineers, but they're not going to work in the place where they are being educated. So that puts in demands to the professional engineers that they should be flexible and ready to work other places than where they were born. And unfortunately in Denmark right now, we have the problem with the engineers before they become engineers. They're young people, students, they should travel to where they can be educated, and they don't want to leave home. Even 100 kilometers is a problem. We were asked by the previous minister to make a new degree, a new program of chemical engineering in the town of Kalundborg, which is 100 kilometers from Copenhagen. That's crazy, that's insane. So these are the numbers. We don't have a problem, but we have regional differences which we should maybe work together with the solution on. Now, another thing that I would like to say before my 7 minutes is up, and how much time do I have left? 3 minutes. Oh, that's great. The attitude. My two colleagues here on the panel mentioned something about the attitude, about the attitude of our engineers. What should the attitude be? And for 2050, the students should have skills mindsets to deal with changes of the future, even to deal with the changes that we don't know. Now at DTU we have developed a mindset, a set of mindset together with the students on that issue. What is it more about? What is it that you're not getting any credit for, but things that you should acquire? And what we're telling them when you start university, because they come from school and they're pupils. You don't have this distinction in the American language, but in the UK, the British language, you're a pupil and then you become a student. That's a difference, that's a transition, and then you become an engineer. There are a lot of things that you should change when you go from school to university. And we have a list of things, and first of all, courage. Now, courage is an English word that is difficult to spell. Right? So I put C here. I was talking to somebody from MIT, and he was very brave. No, he was very proud of his students, and he said, "Our students are fearless." Then afterwards, after the presentation, I asked him, "Okay, your students are fearless. That's very good. That's part of your curriculum. Okay, what's the quality circle? Have you put fearlessness into the syllabus, and are you actually testing it?" Then unfortunately, he said yes. I thought, no, he said yes. Okay, so I said, all right. So I took it home and talked to somebody from industry, and I told this person, "Why don't we make fearless students at DTU? Wouldn't that be great?" Then he thought a little bit. "I don't think I would like to drive on a bridge made by a fearless engineer. But brave or courageous, that's different." So this boldness should be something that we inspire in all our students, because you have to be brave or courageous in order to take on engineering problems, because engineering problems are so straight answer. So this is one thing. There will be the attitude, the personal attitude. What's the attitude? I mean, you have an angle. You know what you're doing. You're talking about what you're doing. You're not shy about telling about how wonderful engineering is. So attitude is also something we should instill. The ability to reflect. What am I doing and why am I doing it? What did I learn in school today? So things like that. Think about the team. So these are things that we take for granted, but we don't necessarily teach them. We should get, these are not soft skills. These are not soft skills, because these are things that they may be personal, but they should be something that you can apply in an engineering context. So there are various different levels of these things, and already when students come to university and we tell them, "We regard you as colleagues, you are now engineers, and you're very bad engineers, but because we regard you as engineers, we expect you to be courageous, have attitude, be reflective, and think of the team." Things like that are things that we can install in the graduates, and things that are needed in the job market.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark.